Hey everyone, welcome in. My name is Angie Norris and you're on my YouTube channel, 60 and a Senior. And for the most part on this channel, we talk about bookish things because I love to read. And tonight we are going to be choosing my February TBR list from the shelves of unread books. Now, we're only going to choose 3 because I already have 3 that are must-reads on my February list already because I belong to several book clubs. And so one of them is a book club that is an annotated book club. And my book this month that I need to annotate behind the 2 previous people who have already read it is The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. And so it's a must read. And then I also facilitate an online book club on Facebook. It's my own personal book club. It's called Always Booked. And we just chose our book for February. The genre is romance. And I don't have the book yet. I had to order it. It's entitled All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. And I'll insert the book cover right here so you can see what it looks like. And then the third book that I have to read during the month of February, well, I don't have to read it, but it's an audio book that I had on hold with Libby. And I've had it on hold for a good 6 weeks, maybe 7. And it just became available. So I snatched it off Libby and it's downloaded to my phone and I'm going to start reading it tomorrow. And that audiobook is called The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. And I'll insert the cover of what it looks like there. So that's 3 already that are on my list for February. So I'm not going to overwhelm myself and choose a bunch more. I'm only going to choose 3 more. And I think I'm going to go back to the jar prompts. I was using these reader roulette cards for a while. They're a little bit challenging to shuffle. So I think I'm going to go back to the jar prompts. So we're going to shake up the jar prompts. If you're not familiar, these just have prompts written on little tiny pieces of paper. I reveal them and then I let the prompt guide me to a book. All right, let me make sure I just got one. And let's see what that says. I'm going to let you see it. Now, what does it say? A book with an average rating of 4.5 stars and above. Now, I will tell you that I keep a running list of all my books on my TBR shelf, and I do write the Goodreads rating down. So let me go and see what my options are, and I'll be right back. Okay, this one is a little challenging because honestly, of my unread books, I don't have any right now that are Goodreads rating 4.5 stars or more. I have 3 that are 4.48. That's pretty close to 4.5. And that is Kate Quinn, The Rose Code. This is a historical fiction. That Last Carolina Summer by Karen White. This was a new release that came out, I believe, last August. And I'm trying to remember what genre it is. I think it's contemporary women's fiction. And then Frederick Bachman, My Friends. Both of these, that Last Carolina Summer and My Friends, are on my 26 in 2026 list. So choosing one of these will help me knock that out as well. And I'm actually going to go with this one because I also have this book on hold on Libby. And it says I've got 2 more weeks to wait, or that I'm 2 weeks approximately, I'm the 3rd person in line. So it may come available on Libby this month and I can do a tandem read. So I'm going to choose this one, That Last Carolina Summer by Karen White. All right, let me put these away and then we'll choose our next prompt. Okay, we're going in, we're going to shuffle or shake. Not really shuffle because we're not doing cards. And we're going to go in for another piece of paper. Here's the problem with doing this jar thing is that my hands get stuck in the jar. All right, there's one. A book about a group of friends. Oh, that is just so weird that I just put my friends up. That's the first thing I thought of. Let me see what else I've got. Okay, I've probably got more, but I immediately grabbed My Friends that we were just talking about by Frederick Bachman, which was all over BookTube and Book Talk last year. I think it was a new release last year. It was a book of the month. I don't remember what month when it came out, but it used to tell you, but anyway. But I've also had this one on my shelf for a while. It's by Fannie Flagg. And most people, Fannie Flagg is not an author that comes to their mind. She's an older author, and she's written books for many years. She is the author of Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, if you saw that movie, Fried Green Tomatoes. But she writes Southern fiction. Is usually set in a small town in the South. And this book is part of her Elmwood Springs, Missouri series. And I absolutely love Fannie Flagg. I'm from the South. I love her books. And this one's been on my shelf for a while, so it was on my 26 and 2026 list. So I'm going to actually choose this one. I read a very dark and depressing book in January, and I really need something happy to clear my mind, and I know that's going to do it. So that's going to meet that prompt, a book about a group of friends. Let me put these up, and we'll be right back to draw the third and final prompt. Okay. Let's shake them up. Let's go down to the bottom again. Trying to get my finger on just one. All right, and then get my hand out. Make sure it's just one. What does it say? I can't read it. A murder mystery book. I'm sure I have that on my shelf. So let me see what my choices are. Okay, I stopped pulling books off the shelf when I got to 6. I have many mystery thrillers on my shelves. So let's go through them. Well, The Hunting Wives. Now, this was a book of the month. This was an add-on that I did not long ago. It came out in 2021. And I've had the book on my shelf for a while, but then I noticed there was a Netflix or something, Hulu, Netflix, one of those series, and I watched that, and oh my goodness, I was like, what did I just watch? So I kind of already know a little bit about this, so it would be a very quick read for me. If you haven't seen that Netflix series, but it's about Sophie O'Neill, who leaves behind a envy-inspiring career in Chicago, and she moves down to Texas with her husband and young son to a small Texas town, and she meets a woman named Margot, who is a socialite, and some other women, and she's trying to fit in, and she makes these new friends, and they're called the Hunting Wives Club. Well, the book is called The Hunting Wives. I think the Netflix series is called The Hunting Wives Club. So that may be a good choice. Killers of a Certain Age. This was also a book of the month add-on. I think it originally came out in 2022. And this is about 4 women in their 60s who have retired from a clandestine international organization like the CIA, where they killed people or, whatever. I thought it would be interesting because it was said about women in their 60s, and I just turned 60. I also have The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth. This, if you know anything about her books, this was a brand new one that I just got in the January Book of the Month Club. It's called Anatomy of an Alibi. And so there are 2 women, and they hatch a plan. Camille and Aubrey, and Camille is married to the hotshot lawyer Ben, and Aubrey, and somehow or another they get together and hatch a plan that they're going to swap places, and then Ben ends up dead, and they have to figure out an alibi for both of them. So that's a brand new release. And then Something in the Water, and then How to Kill Your Best Friend. So what do I want to read for the month of February? I think I'm going to go with this. Since I've already seen the Netflix, I think this will be a quick read. So we're going to go with The Hunting Wives by May Cobb, which will satisfy the prompt for a murder mystery book. All right, stay tuned and we'll do the wrap up. Okay. So, The Hunting Wives by May Cobb. Fanny Flagg, The Whole Town's Talking. That was to satisfy the prompt, a book about a group of friends. That Last Carolina Summer, that was a book with an average rating of 4.5 stars or above. And then I have 3 more. One is a annotated book club choice, The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. The romance book for my book club is All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. And then I'm also listening to, or getting ready to start listening to, The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. And I'll insert those up there. So that is my February TBR list of what I'm hoping to read during the month of February. If you've read any of these books, I would love for you to drop me a comment below and let me know what you thought about them. Or also drop me a comment and tell me what you're going to read in February. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. It is free, and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. As always, thank you for watching my YouTube channel, 60 and a Senior, and y'all have a great day.